Welcome back to the channel. We're back at it. We're going to do a little overview of the problems I've had so far with this 3-inch budget lift. Let's check it out. So far I haven't really had that many issues up front. It hits right here a little bit. So I think in this video I'm going to trim these. I've got some bumper trim I'll show you that I'm going to put on the ends. I want to make or buy. I really kind of want to make them though. Just make as much stuff as I can to get some experience. But the fender armor with the tubes, I think those are cool. But for right now, we're gonna trim this and come down and hammer as much of this stuff over as we can just to get a little more room for now. But on the back, I trimmed this a little bit. It was already touching, but I went to lunch today and had two buddies with me. Plus I had some scrap metal from in the back of the Jeep. It was enough weight to rip this off. And the other day I trimmed it just a touch, and I found this. So these are definitely getting 2x6 or 2x8. Just going to cut this out, replace that, which will be thinner, so it'll give it a little more room. And I'm still going to build control arms and do all that stuff. But this I can do now, so I can keep driving it. And so far, I don't have wheel spacers, and I think I'm just going to get some cheap steel wheels with the right offset to move it out. But this side's good. They were both on the right side with no sway bars. So when I went over this one little grass hill, tire caught this, and man, this didn't really hurt the tire too bad. It didn't do it any favors, just a couple spots touched it. So we're gonna knock this back and fold it over that way and cut this some more, because we don't really care so much anymore. It's rotted underneath. I'm gonna have to fix this too. Look at that. I don't want to do a whole lot. I do want to do some body work, I guess, so I'm gonna go to the scrapyard and cut a piece out and patch it in just for the experience of doing it. It's not worth it, really, but I'm gonna try it. So the 2x6 or 8 fixes the rocker issue. Doesn't fix that issue, but it's a woods Jeep. It's probably gonna be, if I get too rough with it, it's gonna be scrap metal anyway. So I don't want to care. I care, but I don't want to care too much, because you're going to slide it into a tree, you're going to break windows, stuff's going to happen. My biggest plan with this thing is to keep it, when I build my long arm kit and when I build all this stuff, I don't want to, I might weld it so it's not just jumping or wiggling around with bolts, but I'll just weld it a little bit and mainly bolt on. Because if I ever wreck this beyond repair or it's just so ugly and I can get it, like they're $600, $800 Jeeps, I'll just buy another one, put all my stuff on it, and do it again. So let's get to marking these out with some tape. We'll get to cutting and get to hammering. This is what I got marked to cut out. It's pretty bright over here right now, but I just set where this ridge is right here, I set the square up against it and just marked and marked and marked. And it looks like I'm going to lose this bolt right here, which there's enough meat. I'll just drill another hole, put a bolt right here. And right now the tire's never going to be able to get up there, I don't believe. But whenever I move the axle forward, plus just one nice uniform piece, I'm going to get to cutting. And it's cut. I think I'll be pretty happy with where I cut it at, because if you go any more, there's body back here. There's not a whole lot more to go. Now, the more backspace you have on your wheels, or the more your wheels stick out, the more what's it called? Scrub radius you have. Where instead of your wheel pivoting, it's actually rolling. So the further this is out, the further when you turn, it's going to go front to back. So once I get different wheels or spacers, when you turn, it's going to get further into this. So next thing's to knock this down. Now I might trim it. I'll trim it up to maybe right here. Leave the welds, trim that, and then hammer it over. That'd probably be good enough. And then I'll show you my bumper trim. I'll probably just fog this from the backside with some black paint. Maybe touch it up with a file. And I'll shove my bumper trim on it. There it is. This stuff just looks like this. So keep it from getting cut. Kind of neatens it up a little bit. Fairly easy to, all this contouring in these corners, and this one I wrapped all the way around, so when I put another bolt here I should pinch it, kind of keep it from coming back out of there. So I don't think I went crazy overboard, but that's better. Now I'll trim that, and I'll take that BFH right there and let it do its thing. That'll do it. It's as flat as you're gonna get it. Knock the loose stuff off and hit it with some gray paint. That's it. It's good enough. I'm gonna slap this side back together. I'll do the other side tomorrow, and then whenever I do the back, we'll go over it and show you the problem areas, and we'll see just how far we can move those problems away until we get some spacers or some better wheels with more offset. That's much better. Oh, what a dumbass. It's Saturday now. I'm just getting back to it. You know, nothing I had planned went as planned. I ended up having to work late, and the one day I got home in time, I had to take the dog to the emergency vet, so I'm just now getting back to it. It's rainy and nasty on Saturday. I've got a garage full of crap, so I can't push it in or can't drive it in. But we're going to get to working on the back. And for all my subscribers, thank you very much. And for anybody else watching my videos, don't forget to hit that button. Every little bit helps. Let's get to it. Like I said before, we got all this rot, so I really don't care that much anymore about cutting this thing. So I think I'm going to come right across here, try to make it look decent. I'll probably look at some more pictures of other people's, what they've done. But I think if I come in right here, it'd look decent. And then I'll just cut this off a lot so the tire quit hitting. Now this thing hitting over here is mainly because I've got wheel spacers coming now. I didn't get wheels. If Whistling Diesel's proved anything, it's that wheel spacers are fine. So, and I don't have a track bar yet, or adjustable one, so the axles are all pushed to the driver's side, which is why this, another reason why this hit. There's lots of reasons this hit, but it's another reason to hit that. So wheel spacers will help, knocking that back will help, track bars will help, and cutting this crap so it quits tearing it apart. It really hasn't hit it that much. But like I said, I had some big boys on the passenger side with no sway bars, so it swayed a lot, and I went over this hill and it just connected. So we're gonna get all this crap out of the way. I've got it hammered down flat. So that should hopefully keep the tire from catching. I'm going to go ahead and take this off so we'll see all the rot, and take the Sawzall and slice that off. Quit scrubbing. Holy crap, this thing is rotted. Working on it underneath, I never saw any of this. I guess that's the bad part about having these 90s vehicles or any of these plastic side things that holds all the crap in them and just rots it away. So we got some free weight reduction until I put the even heavier tube in it. But at least that's enough reason to chop that out of there and stop caring about the rest of this. We'll trim this next, but right now we're going to unceremoniously sawzall this thing right there. We'll try not to scratch the paint. Holy crap. I don't even know that I'm going to clean it up with the grinder or just cut it off some more. Right now we're going with that. And I've started cutting this, trying to think of how to do it in a neat way, and I'm giving up on everything. I'm going to cut this some more and just hammer that thing over. Call it done. I don't think it's going to work well, but we're just going to do it. Well, it ain't the prettiest. It twists here as it comes down, and the door gap's horrible. I'll probably hammer that back a little more. It really doesn't matter. It's gonna get beat up in the woods. I wanted to make it really nice, but this. So, moving on. Here's how much room we have now. Plenty. Hopefully that'll survive back there till the wheel spacers are on. Obviously, you probably still couldn't flex that much without hitting it. But more lift and track bar will help, and this is how much space we had. So, I take this thing in the woods. It's not just a mall crawler. There's a lot of people say, you only need this much lift for this much tire, and you could drive it on the road, but as soon as you hit any obstacle, you're going to start tearing things off. So, this is what I'm doing. We're going to be replacing those rockers with some rectangle tubes, some 2x6 or 2x8. Some people said 2x8 gives you a little more step and somewhere to connect some roll bars or some exterior bars if you wanted to. I might do that. I might just keep the 2x6. It might be even worse than that and I have to go even deeper, but it didn't look that bad behind this. Obviously, this is horrible. So now I've got to do all that to this side. I wouldn't say I'm proud, but it's going to work. I was proud of the front. This one's bent anyway. It was bent when I got it. This has never actually hit this. This was already like it when it was stock. I'm fairly proud of this. This is good enough. It looks decent. But I'm going to do the other side and call this thing done. For those of you that hung around this long, thank you for watching. We will be getting into bigger and better things. Like I said about taking the dog to the vet, she had to have surgery, so that put me back a good bit. So it's going to be a little while longer so I can get a bender and DOM and end links and all that stuff. But until then, I'm going to try to do the cheaper things that I can do. What I want to do next is the WJ, the knuckle swap, and the steering swap. I'd like to do that just because I don't want to upgrade the steering stuff I have just to do it again later. I don't think that's going to be that expensive. And now that the tires aren't going to be hitting because I chopped the hell out of it, I don't have to worry about extending the arms at the moment. Still want to go much bigger on the lift and build it all myself. It's just a little further down the road now. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.